So let's go through the story of what happened. So I'm going to say that again because I think maybe the mic wasn't on there. Now I can see it coming up. So hopefully you guys can hear me. So I'll start again. Today, I'm going to tell the story about what happened to me when I got offered a job and they withdrew the job offer because I asked a questions. Yeah. So how it all happened is that I got a job offer for a place, yeah. When I got the job offer, the people was like to me, okay, what we'll do is we'll send you over the contract and you can start at this specific date. The specific date could be moved up and down. You know that happens anytime when you do get a job. What I was able to do was get the contract at a certain date, which was later than what they said. So sometimes you have hiccups, sometimes you deal with HR, and they sent it through on a later date than what they said they were going to do. Gave me a start date for December the 1st. Well, obviously at December the 3rd, and I don't work there, right? So no problem. They said they can push that back. So I asked questions which was attaining to my overtime on the contract, which you can only find out when you get your contract. I asked other questions which were related to like workflow because they required you to work a certain amount of hours overtime. This was a continental shift as well, so days and nights. Um, they don't tell you everything in the interview, obviously, and you need to read through your contract because this is where you will be fucked up. They will get you at some point, right? So I thought to myself, this has happened to me before previously. I've not read through my contract before, and I wasn't happy with some things with HR one day, and I wrote to them. And me not knowing the rules of the company, yeah, they have final say if you stay or if you go. That's it. So I needed to be more aware of these things. Now I'm going to this situation again in the future, and I wish for you lot to be aware of these situations as well. It was quite alarming to me because the guy wasn't really being he wasn't being how you would expect someone to be in that situation, like helping, forthcoming. He wasn't saying whatever questions you do have, I'll answer them. They gave me a period of 3 working days to look over the contract while they spent the contract was supposed to come to me and arrive with me within a week. It took 4 weeks to arrive to me, but I was supposed to look at it, read every 9 page, read the whole 9 pages, make sure it's fine, send over my NI number, and get like just sign on red dot. But I've realized to myself, you know what? If something doesn't sit well with me and I can't ask questions to my potential employer, yeah, I don't know if it's for me. And it's not me being stuck up on, I think it's just me understanding that we've got to have a level of communication between me and you. And us not having a level of communication creates a problem for me because I just can't talk to you then. And I don't want to be that person who gets super angry over something when it's a breakdown within communication, when I'm trying to work on my communicating skills a lot better and my approach towards work. So, for one, I'm not trying to lead myself down any rabbit holes in life with people where I don't have to. I know it's necessary for me to work to be able to maintain my lifestyle, which I do have. And I see having a 9 to 5 job or a shift job a viable place for me to be where I can make money and live comfortably, right? But not being able to ask questions when it comes to your new employee, it just becomes a bit of a problem for me. You know, I don't like to be the problem person inside the workplace or the problem person who is not getting along with people because I've got to do this amount of overtime and this overtime spills over into this time. I'm committed to doing what I need to do when it comes to work. But I've realized that I've maybe kind of like spoiled myself a bit too much, because I've done a lot of contract work, agency work, and I've been paid a high rate. So when it comes to a lower rate, let's say a job which is under 60K a year, I'm less tolerant to be how they would want me to be. I'm going to ask a few more questions, because I know that being under that threshold, yeah, people want you to do everything underneath the sun, and you have to as well, because you're contracted to. So I want to make sure that when I go into them situations, I'm as comfortable as possible. Um, my own girlfriend has told me, like when you was working at this place, you seemed very pissed off because you wasn't getting the money, or you was getting, or you wasn't happy with the setup, and I wasn't. And I take it out on people around me when it's not their fault, it's my own fault. So I need to take responsibility for my actions moving forward. And knowingly that I couldn't have a day off if I wanted to, doesn't sit all the time. So I just want to make sure that when I do go through things like this, I'm doing it properly. And me doing it properly is me being a bit thorough with my research, looking through my contract, seeing the things which, oh, I didn't know that we had to get 20 hours approved before it can actually be coming to you. You have to do these 20 hours on a flat rate as overtime before you get time and a half. That wasn't discussed before. And it not being discussed does change the ballpark when it comes to earning. So this particular job, yeah, I worked out that to get a £1,200 extra a month, yeah, I would have to do 12 shifts overtime. 12 shifts overtime to get extra £1,200 a month. That, when you balance up work life and just your own life, yeah, doesn't make any sense. Because let's say the shift is like, I think it's like 18 days or like 19 days. So if you factor in another 12 days of you doing overtime, how many more days do you have for the month? Not a lot. There's not any time left. So I thought to myself, you know what? This can't be something I'm in full time, because it's not making sense even long term. And don't get me wrong, I'm not on a high horse where I don't want to work for anybody. That's not my MO. I would always tell people to have a full-time job. I've had a full-time job for a lot of the time of my career of doing social media content and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't hold you back. But this job required me to ask permission to run my Mr. London Plumber business, which it isn't really a problem. It's just something that needs to be agreed. Just how someone could agree to something, they could disagree to it. No, I think that would be conflict of interest with you working here, running your business. What can you say? You either take a choice to take a leap and say, okay, cool, not going to do my business. I'm just going to work the 9 to 5, and it doesn't cover my bills and what I need it to be. And I have to slow down on everything what I've built. It's not a seesaw for me where I'm weighing up what I've built outside of work to what I can have inside of work. Again, I know I'm getting older, so I need to look at pensions. I know I need to look at future proofing myself, and I can't just rely on content, little odd jobs. I am doing a lot more plumbing jobs now because I've geared myself up to it. I mean, I'm going out 6:30 in the morning. Gonna start doing some morning vlogs. So make sure you check them out, because I need people to run them numbers up. Because I don't know what's happening this Christmas. I don't know if Santa's getting anything this Christmas. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm okay financially, because you got to sort yourself out before you sort other people out. This same company wanted me to give in my resignation because I told them I was working somewhere else. And that's the thing. I tried to be as transparent as possible, which is, when would you like me to start? The 1st of December. Okay, I've given you 4 weeks before the 1st of December for me to even start. So we should be more than prepared. You should have all the paperwork, what you need back, whether it be my qualifications, whether it be my passport, whether it be my national insurance number, which I've all given to them. But I understand, and this isn't me saying like, oh, like I'm not interested in working for people and da da da. No, I am very much. It's just we get, and this is the point when I was going through, I'm going through an agency person, so it's not the best person to go through it all. I'll tell you that from now. Like I felt like should I email the director of the company, which I might do. I don't feel like it's gonna get me the job, but I feel like it's gonna have let things be very clear, and clarity is what I care about. You know, I care about that because I've took the time, the effort to go to this job, to send them the things what they need, and to sit down and ace the interview, which I've shown you about how to ace the interview on my YouTube channel. I think I've put the video out. Is it been out today? No, it's coming out. Is it out? I think it is out now. So I done a video on how to ace an interview. It is out now. I released it yesterday. So the video is this video, just to remind you lot, yeah? How to ace your interview. And I've got loads of techniques on how to ace an interview. But maybe this is a sign for me personally to be able to work on reading through contracts, understanding certain things, pulling them up when they come up. But a red flag to me is always going to be me not being able to ask you any questions as an employer, as someone who is interested, as someone who is a recruiter. You know, we live in a world where it's fair to ask a question. I always got a vibe from these people that it wasn't for me anyway. But I went with it because I'm in the same boat as everybody else where I need money. I don't not need money. Yes, I make money out of collaborations. Yes, I do stuff on the internet, but it's not paying the bills like as if I would be getting paid from a full-time job. So I'm not naive or stupid because like I can only tell you that I'm in the fucking same boat as everybody else. I don't worry about it in certain ways because I have this good understanding about me having a trade, and I know how resourceful it is for me to have a trade and know that I can make money. But it's just about now having a super steamroll before Christmas, getting off my ass and going to every single job. I was doing call outs in Mayfair on Friday. So I'm active, but I need to be as much as possible. So I'm going to hit the drawing boards really hard. I want you guys to listen to this and think about this is a lesson at the end of the day. What I've went through within communicating with people properly, having enough time for you to be able to ask questions, not being pushed into signing something which you're not comfortable with. It's like signing an agreement for a car. Unless you read through everything, you don't know what's going to go on. And where you don't know what's going on, where do you stand? I just never lead people down a road which I'm not sure of in my life myself. I want stability. I don't want problems. But to eliminate some problems, we've got to ask questions. But I understand people can tell me that, oh, they probably might feel you as being difficult. Okay. Tell me that then. You know, there's nothing wrong with telling someone I feel you're being a bit difficult and a bit uneasy here. Could you do X, Y, and Z? It's not like I would have said no because I said to you, my goal is to get the job. It doesn't deter me from getting other jobs or looking at other places. I just wanted people to learn from my experiences where I've had contracts before or had a contractual job before. And because I didn't read the contract properly, I didn't turn up to a meeting about something else and I lost that job. But I came back fighting hard after that. But I just don't want to do that bouncing around thing. And I don't really suggest it for anybody else as well. I'm getting older as well. That's the whole point. Stability is important. And I think for me, to be at the age I'm at and have a partner, and it stopped us from doing certain things with each other because of employment. It's not to do with really money. It's something I have a lot of money when I do have money. I'm not gonna lie, and I save it a lot as well. I've learned through my mistakes, but times like Christmas and times like this, when you wish you had a bit more, you had a little bit more stableness, you wonder what you're gonna do. Might have to sell one of the iPhones. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing that shit. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get grafting, people. But I appreciate you lot for sitting down and listening to me, because this was a little bit of a rant. But I wanted you to learn from my mistakes, and I've made some mistakes. But I want to ask you guys: have I really made a mistake in this thing? What I've told you about. Appreciate some feedback from others, because I know you guys be watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out.